Hello, Pioneers. My name is Kylie Bradshaw.
And my name is Blake, and this is your National News Show.
Today's cover story is the devastating flood that killed thousands of lives in Libya.
But first, let's take a look at Danilo Cavalante's escape from Pennsylvania prison.
What's up, Pioneers? Let's take a look into the escaped fugitive of Pennsylvania.
Danilo Cavalcante, the infamous fugitive who escaped prison in Pennsylvania, has finally been caught and rearrested. Cavalcante, who was placed in Chester County Prison due to his guilty verdict on killing both a student and his ex-girlfriend. Cavalcante originally hails from Brazil, where a warrant was issued for his arrest in the connection of the death of a student. Cavalcante then fled to the U.S., where he committed another murder, this time the victim being Cavalcante's ex-girlfriend, Deborah Brendow, back in April of 2021. A little after the crime, Cavalcante was found guilty, received life imprisonment, and was placed in the Chester County Prison in Pennsylvania. On Wednesday morning of August 31st, Cavalcante escaped and made his way on the lam, causing a vicious 2-week manhunt. Finally, on September 13th, Cavalcante was captured and rearrested after he was found by a SWAT dog in a forest approximately 30 miles from the prison, from which he escaped 14 days prior.
That's all I have for today. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Sam. Now let's talk about the flood. Last week, Storm Daniel raged through the country of Libya, causing torrential downpours. Entire blocks of people have been swept into the Mediterranean Sea. The storm also caused many coastal dams to collapse, causing catastrophic damage. Libya's health minister said more than 3,000 bodies have been buried in Derna alone, and another 2,000 are currently being processed.
As a result, many communities remain isolated, hindering the delivery of humanitarian aid and making it challenging for rescue and relief efforts to reach those in need. The collapse of coastal dams has compounded the crisis and made it urgent for repairs to halt further flooding or water damage. Libya's government is struggling to provide aid to families and rebuild infrastructure as a result of the catastrophic natural disaster.
The international community has been closely monitoring the situation in Libya and extending assistance where possible. Aid organizations in neighboring countries have offered support in terms of resources, expertise, and financial aid to help Libya manage the aftermath of this tragic event. Coordination between Libyan authorities and international partners is essential to ensure that relief efforts are efficient and effective, as the country hopes to recover quickly from the profound impact of Storm Daniel. The disaster underscores the need for increased resilience and disaster preparedness measures in vulnerable regions, not only in Libya but across the globe, to mitigate the devastating consequences of extreme weather events.
In other words, Brian Koberger, who raised news in late fall of last year by being convicted of killing 4 Idaho college students, waived his right to a speedy trial. This caused the trial to be delayed past its original date of October 2nd of 2023. Koberger is also fighting to have cameras removed from the courtroom during his trial.
Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, has been indicted on gun charges. Biden was indicted Thursday in a federal court in Delaware with 3 counts tied to possession of a gun while using narcotics. Biden is accused on 2 counts of having completed a form saying he was not using illegal drugs when he bought a Colt Cobra revolver in 2018. The 3rd count alleges he possessed a firearm while using a narcotic. 2 of the counts carry a maximum of 10 years in prison, while the 3rd count has a maximum up to 5 years. Each count also carries a fine of up to $250,000.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has again called Ukraine's counteroffense against Russian forces a failure as Kiev's Ministry of Defense reported further gains on the front lines around Bakhmut city in the eastern Donetsk area. According to Al Jazeera, Putin denied reports of recent battlefield gains by Ukraine and said Kiev's forces had not stalled in their advance, but had failed. As he spoke at a news conference with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in the Black Sea resort of Sochi on Monday.
In the midst of a surge in coronavirus cases, Republican presidential contenders are targeting localized reinstatements of mask mandates, seizing these developments as an opportunity to caution against more sweeping restrictions. Over the past few days, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has strongly criticized how former frontrunner Donald Trump managed the pandemic's initial phases. In response, the former president is vowing to reduce federal funding for organizations like schools and airlines that enforce mask or vaccine mandates.
On Tuesday, the Chinese Foreign Ministry refrained from commenting on a report regarding the removal of its former minister, Qin Gang, from his position due to an alleged extramarital affair. Earlier the same day, the Wall Street Journal reported that Qin had been abruptly relieved of his duties earlier in the summer following a Communist Party investigation. The investigation reportedly uncovered evidence of an extramarital affair during his tenure as China's envoy to Washington, as reported by individuals with knowledge of the matter.
Also on Tuesday, the Defense Ministry of Azerbaijan announced the initiation of anti-terrorism operation in contested Nagorno-Karabakh region. Simultaneously, Armenian media outlets and local authorities documented intense shelling of the regional capital, Stepanakert, as a result of the Azerbaijani military's bombardment. 2 civilians, including a child, lost their lives and 11 individuals sustained injuries, as reported by Gayam Stepanyan, the ombudsman in Nagorno-Karabakh. Thanks for listening, Pioneers. For The Juice, I'm Kylie Bradshaw.
And I'm Blake Trent. Remember to stay juicy and have a great day, Pioneers.